Sorry, guys. What's going on, everybody? My bad for the technical difficulties. I had to scramble. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me on this Tuesday evening live stream Q&A. We got Miss Lachey is first in the building. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Um, it's a rainy afternoon or evening, I guess, here in Missouri. Pink hand waving. I can't see these cool little sticker things you guys do because I go live through StreamYard, so I'll get it all figured out. I'm getting ready to buy a what's up, Norma? One of those big enough screens to where I can do the dual or big enough monitors to where I can do the dual screens. That way I can have the YouTube live up along with the StreamYard live stream chat. King Servant, what's going on, man? How you doing? Lisa, what up? What up? So if you guys got any questions or anything like that that you want to talk about, discuss eBay reseller related or just whatever other platforms as well. Although I don't sell on any other platforms, someone in the chat may, and we can go over that as well. So how are sales going for you guys? Just made a couple of I got these fishing lures like way back in the day when I first started reselling, but they take up so little space that I kind of been hanging on to them because I'm like really far in the profits on them. Somebody just sent me an offer on 3 of them, just sold some of those. So it's never a bad time when you sell something that takes up no space. I don't really deal with smalls anymore, but I couldn't pass these up. What up? Checks maybe? I don't know how you pronounce that, but I'm assuming that that's how it's pronounced. Appreciate you coming and hanging out. What's up, Jay? How you doing? Appreciate all you guys coming and kicking it with me. Is it cold here? No, not really. Why? Because I got a hoodie on. It's just what I do. It's not warm either though, but like I said, it's kind of rainy and stuffy here, or not rainy and stuffy, but rainy and chilly here. I think it may be like 40 degrees. Let me check the Google machine. Right now, it's currently 41 degrees, raining in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. What's up, Nita? How you doing? So, what do you usually look for as minimum sell-through rate? Well, when I was looking sell-through rate up, I didn't want to go below 50%, but usually I was aiming for 100% sell-through because when I was looking things up, I was kind of needing the money to come back immediately. So it was usually I was trying to get 100% sell-through rate, so that way I could try to get my money back within 90 days. Now that money's not as much of an issue, like I don't need my money back instantly as soon as I buy something. 50%, it's okay with me, but what I'm doing now is normally I'm buying the same type of things over again. So I'm not really branching out into buying stuff that I've never sold before unless it looks like something I've sold before and it just happens to be a different brand. So like for instance, camo pants, like if it's a brand I've never sold before, but I know that I can sell a pair of camouflage pants, I'll probably pick it up. And then when I get it back to the crib and I'll do like my little market research on it or whatever, I'll find out what it's priced at because some brands can go for higher. Um, that's when I'll do a little bit of research on it. But as far as it goes, like if it looks like something I've sold before, so say for instance, a pair of jeans with a cool embroidery on the back, I'm probably going to pick it up regardless of whether I've heard of the brand before because chances are it'll sell. Now, whether it sells for $10 or it sells for $150 is the determining factor that I'll take the time to look up when I go to do the listing. But as far as me, I don't look anything up for real when I'm sourcing nowadays because number one, I get almost all of my inventory comes from the bins. So even if I buy that one item and I've never heard of it before, it's only going to be a dollar 40 maximum wasted if the item is not listable. Now, I'm not above listing something for $10 just to get rid of it when it was a bad buy, or even $5 if I have to get rid of something. It's fine with me. That works for me because I can still make some profit, and I'll know not to pick that brand up again. What's up, Michael? Finally caught a live. Way, welcome to the live stream, man. Yeah, I look cold. No, this is how I dress. What's up, Akima Shaw? How you doing? Chris, what's going on? Took your advice to not become attached to my item selling. Sales are unbelievably great right now. There you go. Still making a profit, just a bit less. Less profit more often is better than, all the profit sometimes. As the great tech and sports says, some of the money all the time is better than all the money some of the time. So at the end of the day, man, as long as you're moving inventory, that's all that matters. Take the money and go buy more. What did you do to your prices? Oh, let's see here. Meow Mittens, good evening from Washington. What up from Missouri? How you doing? Elite Supply Bunker. How you doing? Hello all. Jay says also dropped from 6 listings a day to 3, doing similar on old items and updating. Selling more now, listing 3 than 6. Crazy. Well, that's because part of the reason is you're updating. You're not just simply selling similar. You're editing the listings to make them better. So if you have crappy listings but good items that are not, searchable in the search, people can't find these really cool items that you got. If you change the title structure around to be the accurate title structure that it's supposed to be, put correct item specifics in there when they were not correct before, that's going to make the listing searchable. Therefore, it's going to make it more sellable. You're going to be able to sell that item. Let me turn this sound down. So I expect you to be making more sales when you're making corrections in your store. Now, however, if you sell similar, I was literally just talking in the reseller Nirvana mentorship right before this. 80% decrease in sales if all you're doing is selling similar and you're not changing anything. 80% decrease. So yes, you can still sell 20%, but you're going to lose 80% sales by using just that method. If you're not changing anything, making it better, 80% decrease in sales by only selling similar. Jason says, what's up, Marcus? You should try storage units. I get a lot of my clothes and shoes from them. How many? Tell me this and I'll do it. How many items are you getting a week by storage units exclusively? Clothing. And then when you do that, how many of those are listable? Because I have a guy that I buy clothing from storage unit wise, and he hits me up whenever he gets clothes. And I only get about 30 to 40 clothing items from him. And I'm buying the clothes from the guy that gets the storage units. So it doesn't seem like someone that does the amount of listings that I do, it doesn't seem like a viable option to only be my sourcing method. I I don't think that I'll be able to. And then at the end of the day, I don't think it'll be cost effective for me to do storage units to buy clothing. I just don't think I could find enough inventory that way. How long does it take you to photo and list 40? I saw the video where you list and then take a break to answer Discord, etc., but I don't recall the time it took. I don't take a break. I just, if I get a message in between there, I'll respond to the Discord because I'm sitting at the computer and I get a pop-up for it. I don't go out of my way to answer the Discord, unfortunately, because I'm working. And I would think that anybody would respect that and understand that. But so it's not 40, it's 65, and it takes me 6 hours maximum to do 65 listings. 2 hours at the fastest for photos, but that's with bagging and tagging and taking pictures of the items sitting on the scale. So that way, when I go to list, I know if it's a first class package or if it's a priority package. And then it's 3 hours for the or for the listing process, depending on if I'm listing pants or mostly shirts, because listing a pair of pants takes longer than it does a shirt because I have to put in all the measurements into the listing. So about 3.5 hours for the listing part and 2 to 2.5 hours for the photo part for all 65 listings. Let's see here. Which title structure do we use? The layout eBay gives. You can use the layout eBay gives. It's better than the mumbo jumbo that a lot of people use. However, for my listings, I don't do the way eBay does. I do the brand, the item, the gender, the size, the color, and then keywords. So men's jeans, whatever. I'm not saying men's jeans. Let's just use Levi's as an example. So I would do, what up, Fino? Levi's jeans, men's 32 blue. Let's see. Let's just say they're 501s. 501 button fly. And all these, the rest of the like button fly would be keywords. Button fly, denim. So this would be how I would do it. It would be Levi's, which would be the brand, obviously. Jeans, which would be the item. So it could be like a Levi's shirt, men's large blue t-shirt, but I'm not going to call it a t-shirt because that's an item specific. I would say like graphic tee, or like try to explain what's on the shirt a little bit, keyword ish, to make it searchable in the search results. How was the 80% determined? Did someone experiment and try that? No, this was an experiment someone ran over the course of at least a week. I can't remember exactly how long the sale was ran, but the day they started only selling similar, their sales literally dropped off. Their sales chart went down 80% for the whole time that they ran this experiment. It's documented. It's not just a theory. Um, so you can do that if you want to, as long as you're okay with making 80% sales, less sales. By all means, sell similar all day long and don't make any changes. But if you want to make changes, you'll have more than 20% sales. I'm not saying sell similar doesn't work. I'm saying selling similar without upgrading the listing, changing it to make it a better listing. It's not gonna perform any better. You're essentially taking a can off the shelf and putting it right back on the shelf in the same spot. I also found that taking one day to do listings and pictures a week and one day for shipping, I'm able to be a week ahead in listings. Work 55, 65 hours a week, grind, don't stop. Let me read that again. I also found that taking one day to do listings and pictures a week and one day for shipping. I don't understand your and pictures a week. I don't understand that part. So, are you saying that you do all of your pictures in one day and then list throughout the week off of those pictures and then offer one day shipping? Please elaborate. Thank you. I was really confused. That changes each category, correct? For the listing structure? Yeah, I mean, obviously it would be categorical. If you're listing electronics, it's not going to be the same layout. It's going to be like Sony VCR, whatever the model is, and then whatever keywords apply to that item. But I only sell clothing, so the title structure I gave you would be for clothing only. If you're selling shoes, it would be different. It would be like Jordan ones, whatever the colorway is called, because that's what Jordans go by. So, like, say you got the smoke grays, it's going to be like smoke gray fours, Jordan fours, and then whatever hype keywords would apply to that shoe after, and then the size, obviously. So like Jordan 4 cool grays, men's size 8.5, low tie or mids or whatever they are, mid, new in box or whatever, is going to help your sneakers sell the best. What's the ratio of your sourcing from bins to any? I don't source any other way, only the bins. Occasionally I'll get the storage unit guy to hit me up, or occasionally someone will hit me up on Facebook because from time to time I do this paid ad on Facebook. And right now I've had one person hit me up trying to sell me a bunch of Nike shirts. And he's like, so all you're gonna do is pay $1 for them? And I'm like, I can get Nike shirts by the dozens at the bins. I don't want to pay more than $1 for your Nike shirts. So we had to pass on that deal. I told him, you know, a lot of people have emotional attachments to their items because of what they paid for them. I'm guilty of it myself. You know, but at the end of the day, the market is the market. I do have this older couple that have a bunch of items in their garage. They're going to get it all sorted and then hit me up this weekend to see what it's looking like, and just depending on what they're offering, if I do it or not. But yeah, I'm pretty much 100% the bins. What's up, Hillary? No problem. Appreciate you coming in. Fino says, I don't know what's going on, but I just sold 6 shirts in the last 20 minutes. Hey, let's go. That's what's up. Um, I did get an update on the bulk guy. Um, there's a link in the description for it, beat up. I think it's 24 by 24 by 24. And the foam head I got from this local place. I don't think Hobby Lobby's local, is it? Is there Hobby Lobby everywhere? I got the foam head from Hobby Lobby. They have different foam heads there. They have a kid one, they have a women's one, they have one without a face. They got one that looks like that guy, and you know, there, but like I said, there's a link for the exact one I use in my description. I think it was the most affordable one, which is why I bought it. So I don't know, but you don't have to use um the one that I buy. Use the link and then compare prices to the ones that are same size, but you don't even have to get the same one that I have. The one I got is it's fairly big. If you're getting one just for hats and that's the only thing you're using it for, I would go a size smaller. Like I said, that one's 24 by 24 by 24. I would think that for hats and only hats, you could probably get one that's 12 by 12 by 12, or probably like 16 or 18 by 18 by whatever you're going to get. It's going to be squared though. So it's going to be whatever dimension three times, 24 by 24 by 24 or 10 by 10 by 10. And this one collapses. It's meant to be like to where you can like stuff it under a bed or like hide it away somewhere, but I don't even use it. Like right now it's just a storage box for hats. Like there's like 60 hats just sitting inside of it, just chilling, waiting for me to get a wild hair and list a bunch of hats. Let's see. I got the 12 by 12 as well, foam head, and it's too small. So try the 16 by 16 by 16, possibly. The 24 by 24 by 24 is extremely big enough. I got it because I was listing hard goods, and everything that I listed would go inside there. So that's like hunter boots, or like I even had this pair of I can't remember the brand, but it was like really high, like knee-high boots, and they fit in there too. Gabriel says, caught the live. I got my first hundo profit day today. Hey, let's go. Do you know of a fix if you are using your phone app, then go to your Seller Hub site so it doesn't automatically open the app? So what you're gonna have to do is go to the browser. I don't use the app at all unless like maybe I'm accepting an offer or something like that real quick. But so what I've done is, I have Android, and it was doing Google was automatically opening the app, so I would use the Samsung browser, and that was my workaround to get it to stop taking me to the app. But you also have to check your desktop box. There's a box in the settings that it says desktop site. So check that box. And then if it keeps happening, try the browser that comes with your phone and not Google, and see if that works. Cause that was what it was doing for me. Google was taking me straight to the eBay app. Jay says basically I do all my listings and pictures on Sunday, do scheduled listings for the week, and then one day a week I thrift all my. Okay, so as long as you're not doing photos one day and then like listing at a separate time, then I'm okay with that. But I don't agree with taking photos on Monday and then listing all throughout the week, because by the time you get to Sunday, you're going to forget flaws that were on those photos unless you like blatantly point it out in your photos and then are diligent enough to go back and look at all the photos carefully before you create your listing. I don't agree with doing photos and then splitting up the listing process separately. I'm full-fledged into, like, immediately jumping straight into the listing process from your photos. Um, that's why I stopped doing I was sorry about my chair, guys. I gotta get a new chair eventually. I was doing all of my photos in the morning time and then going to ship and then coming back from shipping and doing my listing process. But that would take 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours sometimes, depending on if I had to consolidate my storage over. If I stopped for lunch after going to the post office, if the post office was busy, or whatever monotony occurred in between those 3 hours that got me sidetracked, it got me in my head, got me upset, or whatever things occur, life just happens. And then I forget that this shirt's got a hole in it. Then I don't list that flaw. Boom, now I got a listing going up that's flawed and is a potential INAD because I separated my photo process from my listing process. And all the flaws are not fresh in my mind. Or for instance, my camera sometimes doesn't relay the photos the accurate color. So two hoodies today that I listed were actually like legit purple as purple comes, but in the photos they look like magenta, like maroonish color. Um, I can't figure out how to get these photos to match the color accurately, but say I walked away from that for 3 or 4 hours and I forget that these are actually purple and I don't note in the color or in the condition description, these are like as these are what you would consider purple. The color makes it look magenta. Then I'm going to have a possible return for, doesn't match photos or description. So that's why I was asking if you split up the process or like what you were doing because I wanted to see what your frame of mind was on it. Got it. Greatly appreciate it. No problem. What's my ASP? Let's see. I think it's $20. $20.44. But that fluctuates though. Sometimes it's like 22, sometimes it's 19. It just depends on how many how aggressive of sales I'm running. How many of those items I sell are at the 50% sales price, or how many of the items don't sell on sale at all. You know what I mean? Just depends on how much stuff I'm moving at the price range it's moving. What up, Ed? How you doing, bro? Hobby Lobby is nationwide. Okay, thought so. Gabriel says 19 ASP right now. That's what's up. Lakers. What's going on? How you doing? Appreciate you coming and hanging out. I checked the link for the light box in a newer video. The light box wasn't in there. Go to some of the older videos. Matter of fact, let me just give it to you. Uh, I'll put it in the video or in the description because I don't want to send you on a wild goose chase. Sold some more of those fishing lures. So I think I had added this to my descriptions. Um, I don't know. It should still be in the new ones, but it's like, man, I don't even use it, so I can't like tell somebody else to use it. Hmm. Sorry, man. I gotta find it. Joy Stewart says, hello, thanks for the knowledge, Marcus. I'm trying to niche down into clothing. I have a ton of hard goods listed with no traction. Do you think it hurts my store since I'm more active now listing clothes? Yes, I do actually. And if you're not listing in that category every single day, your sales are going to slow down in the hard goods category. So for me, when I decided to fully niche down into clothing and only sell clothing, I actually had taken all the clothing items down in my store and donated them because I wasn't selling in those categories anymore. I can't even find the Lightbox link. Maybe Hillary Murphy can be a pal and find it in one of the videos. Let me see. Okay, I found it. Never mind. So yeah, I took all the listings down that were not in the category that I was selling in anymore. Oh, it's currently unavailable, so it might not help you none. But I don't know if I yeah, there we go. I can share it. All right, let's see what's next. Please like the video. Hey, that's what's up. Appreciate it. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Got the desktop checked. There you go. Yeah, great. Uh Melissa says, yo, yo, dropping by, showing support. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's what I do. I take pictures one day and then I list for the rest of the week. I always point out every flaw, so no problem for me there. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If that's the method you're gonna use, then as long as you're like extremely obvious and like diligent pointing out your flaws, then that's all that matters. Let's point here. All right, I just put the link in there, but like I said, it's currently unavailable. So just look at the link, look at the item, and then compare it to other options and see if it's even worth you spending the money on. Up, see, there's Hillary. Hillary's bomb with this stuff, man. I'm telling you, man. Uh, let's see. Josh, what's going on, man? When using bubble wrap, do the bubbles go in or out? I think it's a preference, all on you, but I think the bubbles are supposed to go around the item, so not on the outside. Uh, I didn't think there was a proper way, but it's like, which way does the toilet paper roll go? Is it mullet or is it a beard? I do the beard because I don't want to, have to reach behind the roll to get my toilet paper. Norma says, hello, Marcus. I checked my metrics and seems everything is right. I have 2K active listings and 8 daily sold average, listing 15. Do you think I'm doing well or would I be selling more every day? So you're selling 15 and you're listing 15 and you're selling 8. Yes, I think you're doing just as you should be. Um, in eBay, when it comes to, sales, obviously you want to sell as much as you can, but in my experience, as long as you're selling 50% of what you're listing every day, then you've got enough money to buy more inventory, pay your bills or your business bills. I'm not going to say you got enough to live off of your business, but you got enough to buy inventory and buy supplies, pay for your eBay store subscription, things like that. So for me, right now, I list 40 a day. I sell 30 a day. So that gives me enough to buy more inventory, pay all my eBay bills, my storage units, my shipping supplies, gas to and from. But I'm also living off that. I'm also paying my bills off that. The only thing is not every single day do I make enough money to pay my taxes. So I kind of like, try to scramble on and catch up on days that I make more money to pay the money that I got to pay for taxes. Um, because that's not like an immediate requirement. I can pay that at the end of the year as well. So um but last year I was like in the negative all the time. So it's like it'll get better as you go along, but obviously you want to like be profitable all the time, but we don't live in a perfect world and some people are using their personal cash to buy more inventory instead of like letting the business bubble and do what it do. Thrifting 247 says hello, what's going on? Appreciate you coming and hanging out. Hey, Paul Philly Flipper, what's going on, man? How's the new move going? Uh are you acclimated yet? Are you liking it better than back home? Uh Happy for you though, my dude. Joe, what's going on, man? I see you added your name to your your handle now, so that way I guess people know what your name is. It's a little bit difficult when you don't know. Well, in general, not just you, Joe, but when people don't know your name and they're like, "Hey, I'd flip that," instead of being like, "Hey, Joe." Let's see, my brother. What's up, brother? Smash the like button. Indeed. UGK House says, when you notice a flaw right before you ship, do you let the buyer know? Absolutely. Most of the time they don't care. They're more grateful that you let them know. But it has to be like a minuscule flaw. Like, for instance, I sold this vintage Florida Gators hat and it was white and I didn't notice this little spot on the top. So I messaged the dude and I was like, hey, there's a spot on this hat. And I sent them a picture of it. I was like, do you want to cancel the order or what's up? And he's like, man, I don't care about that. Go ahead and send it anyway, because those vintage hat dudes, they know that some of the hats that they're buying are going to have flaws on them, or they're going to clean it up, do whatever they want to with it anyway. So, but I did have a Lululemon sweatshirt, and stupid me, uh, I wrap all my items in the plastic bubble or in plastic bags before I ship them. So I was going to stuff this in the flat rate envelope, and the bag was sealed so well that the air wouldn't escape through the bag. So I took an ink pen and I popped a hole in it. Well, the ink pen poked the item and it had a pin mark on it. So I messaged the lady. I was like, "Hey, this shirt's got a ink mark on it. Do you want to cancel the order?" She's like, "No, it's small enough to where it doesn't matter." And then left me positive feedback about that ink spot. So you definitely want to let the buyer know. So that way you don't get any INADs. Paul says he's loving the beach. That's what's up. Be out there chilling on the beach, hitting the waves. I see items on eBay selling for 5 to 7 with free shipping and shipped priority mail. I don't get it. Either they're making mistakes and don't realize it, or they're copying a listing off someone else that has priority on an item and they don't realize it. Or they're getting such a great deal on their items to where uh, I don't know. I just don't understand how that's profitable, especially on a $5 to $7 item. Because priority, like the cheapest that I've seen it is 758, and that's actually if you do a let's just say it's 15 ounces or like 1 pound, it's going to be 758. So I don't know how they're charging free shipping on that and making any money. Maybe they're just doing it to get rid of items. Kenan says, I want to join your group. You want to join my Patreon or you want to join the Discord? Because the Discord's free. You just got to go to the link in the all the links are in the description, but the Patreon costs money, the Discord is free. Or you could become a channel member. There's exclusive perks there, which is just a couple of extra live streams a week and one-on-one story views. But hey, Kenan, I'd love to have you, bro. If you want to sign up or if you want to join, just hit the link. I think you're already a member of the Discord, though, man. If I remember right. Jay or Joy says, thanks. I appreciate. Thanks. I will take them down. See how it goes. Appreciate all of you here. Yeah, it can only help you, honestly. How many listings do you have that's in the hard good category right now versus how many you have in the clothing category? Because when I decided to go full steam on the clothing, I want to say a good 200 or 300 hard good items. And I was like, man, should I take these down or like what? And then pretty much I just put all that stuff on like a drastic sell. And then what didn't sell within the first couple of months, I just took it all down. I gave all the video game stuff and media to the homie Ray from Good Game Grabs. And then the rest of the stuff I took up to the thrift store my brother works at, like in loads of, just a couple carloads a week until I got rid of it all. And it made my sell-through rate go up. It also gave me a peace of mind because I didn't have stuff that wasn't in my new inventory system. So it was a win for me. It gave me peace. But if you got a lot of money wrapped up in that stuff, I could see not wanting to get rid of it. But I wanted my store to be exclusively clothing and I wanted my sell-through to go up. VIP says, I see you normally list 40 a day. Roughly how long is this taking you? I actually answered this question earlier in the chat. Someone asked the same thing. So I list 65 a day. I create 65 drafts. I launch 40 of those. It takes me 2.5 hours maximum to do the photos of all 65 items, 2 hours at the fastest. And that's actually bagging the items and putting SKUs on them, taking pictures of them on the scale. If I was not folding the items, bagging them and tagging them during the listing process, it would probably only take me like an hour and 15 minutes to take all 65 sets of photos. But folding an item and then putting it inside of a bag, closing the bag, putting a SKU on it, putting it on a scale, taking an extra picture, that definitely adds a significant amount of time to the process. And then on top of that, doing the listings of all 65 items takes me maximum 3.5 hours. It just depends on if I'm listing more jeans that day or more pants that day. Those have more listings in there. So that means I have to like look at the item. Sometimes I forget what it was. Like, was that 32 or was that 33 on the inseam? Then I got to go back and check. Then I got to make sure it's not pair of pants that like can slide through the first class shipping, make sure it's not priority. Those things all add to the listing time. If it's all t-shirts, it's a lot quicker of a process, closer to just 3 hours sometimes. I think the fastest I've done 65 is 5 hours and 55 minutes. So, I mean, just around 6 hours is the fastest. Uh, no problem. Paul says, "Yeah, the movie's great. I love it. That's what's up." I imagine that I would love living by the beach too. Some of the big box media sellers get a lot of media for free and extremely cheap. Plus, I've heard they get a special shipping discount. Yeah, some of them do. And there's like discords out there that you can get like a ridiculous rate for shipping, but it's a lot of extra steps for someone that's doing like anything over 10. Like, I could save a boatload of cash on shipping, but I do not have the time to send this guy my info and then wait for him to get back to me and all this and all. I don't got time for that. Then you got to figure out and you got to match labels up with items, and it's just a whole significant like part of the process I ain't trying to mess with. And I don't remember the name of the Discord, so I couldn't even give you guys the hookup if I wanted to. Good morning. It's not morning, it's evening time. 7:36 p.m. Jared, what are you talking about, buddy? Jared's sipping the sauce. Do you think it will work the same if you schedule drafts to list than actually actively list from scratch? Do you think it will work the same if you schedule drafts to list than actually list from scratch? Yeah, it's the same. It just depends on when it goes up. That's all. The only difference is it's not going to go live immediately. But a listing is a listing no matter when it goes up. I did the same thing when I switched from everything to clothing and had a garage sale in the summer. Yeah, I don't got time for garage sales, and I don't like setting up garage sales. I've done a few of them. I didn't enjoy nothing about that process, and I made way less money doing a garage sale than I could have if I just stayed listing on eBay. So I just donate it, get my time back, get my space back, get my peace back, and make more money. What's up, Jay? How you doing? Appreciate you coming and hanging out. What's your reason for not selling shoes? I do not want to clean them. That's the only reason. If I didn't have to clean them, I'd list them. But the listing process for stuff on this board is way faster than listing shoes. I mean, I guess if I would like stuck with shoes to where I was doing like significant volume, my process would have been a lot faster to where I could have like gotten it down to 30, 45 seconds for a set of photos. But sometimes those shoe tags are difficult to get a good photo of, depending on if it's a high top or a low, or like if it's one of those shoes that have the tag like attached to the sole, it's a lot easier to take a photo of. But if you got a tag that's like real far down on the tongue and you gotta like use two hands, sit the phone down, get the tag ready, then snap. I ain't messing with all that. You know what I mean? So, but mainly the biggest thing was I didn't want to clean shoes. That was the biggest determining factor. Like, but my brother was giving me like shoes from the thrift, pretty much like in ready to list status. But before I got that plug, it was like a dreaded task. Um, I just don't enjoy listing them either. Like the ASP is great, but it's too much work. I just want my process to be fast. I just everything I'm all about like making the time shorter for listing more items, if that makes sense. Um, thank God for the draft bank. Exactly. If you're not using the draft bank, you guys are missing out on a big opportunity to just have a peace of mind. That's for sure. How much longer do you think it will be until you hire someone for a few hours? It'll probably be quite some time. Um, until it gets to where I can't handle it, then I'm not gonna hire anybody. You gotta think if it only takes me 6 hours to do my listings, what's the point of hiring somebody? Like it's not to where it like consumes my life and I don't have any free time and I'm just like hating life, you know what I mean? But if it was to where like all I did was eBay and I didn't have time for anything else and I, just sat here like getting pale because I never saw the sun, then it would be, and I mean, I know I look pretty pale, but that's because there's lights right on my face. But if I didn't have to do, if I didn't have a quality of life, I would hire somebody. But until it gets to the point to where, hey, Jared joined the membership. I like that badge by your name, man. It looks pretty good. Appreciate you. What level did you join at? I can't see what level you joined at. But if you joined at the $10 level, we do lives every other weekend, and there's one coming up this week. If not, hey, then I just appreciate you joining regardless. Anyway, back to what I was saying. What was I saying, man? I got all excited and stuff. Oh yeah, so the first task I would hire out for would be shipping. Uh, just the time that it takes to ship, I could list 20 more, 30 more items, depending on if it's just a standard day. But the only thing that adds more time to that is if I have to consolidate the storage over to make more space. Um, then I only had the option for the 399. That's strange. Let me check. There should be two options. I eliminated the third one because YouTube had they had specifications on the back end of their channel memberships that make it more difficult for me to like do certain things. So I just eliminated the third tier and made it to where I do the Patreon. That way I can offer more. Yeah, there's two. Welcome Pickers, which is $3.99, and then the Picking Genius is $9.99, and you get exclusive member access. But regardless, thank you for your membership. So yeah, I would probably hire out for shipping first. The next thing I would do is once I had somebody that was shipping good enough, if they wanted to earn more money or work more hours, I would train them how to do a few listings a week. Uh, Probably like half of what I do. I do 65 a day, so I would see if they could do like 30 to 35 a day, and just depends on how fast they were able to pick it up. Then I could. So did you upgrade? I think you might have upgraded, but right on. So I don't know how that works on your what you just spent. Maybe maybe it refunds you. I'm not sure. But hey, welcome. Appreciate it. This coming Saturday, 12 p.m. Central, we go live, members only live stream. You can be on camera. That way I can actually meet you, see what you look like, and you'll get a story view and all that good stuff. And it's just members only. So I think there's only 4 members at this level. So it's really, really hands-on. You can ask all the questions you want directly, and I can like walk you through a lot of stuff more privately, more personally. It's a lot more value for you. I've been thinking about it though, man, but I don't think that I'm going to be ready to hire somebody for at least the rest of the year because I can handle everything right now. So it's real simple for me. It's not overwhelming at the point. So that's why I'm just rocking it out. But you guys will stay posted on it because I'll put it all in the videos, man. Do you typically try to ship first class before you end up sending priority? I don't send anything first class that isn't first class, and I don't send anything that's not priority any other way. So if it weighs up to 1 pound flat, I'll ship it first class no matter what. Uh, if it weighs over a pound, then I try to go with the cheapest option. So usually the cheapest option for me is going to be the cardboard flat rate envelope. I stuff everything from hoodies to like thick pants in there, heavy jackets even. Uh and then if it doesn't fit in there, I go up to a legal size envelope uh, and try to squeeze it in there, and that's going to be 790. But usually, it's going to be cheaper to use those two options than it's ever going to be to go priority. For instance, today I shipped a pair of pants that would have charged me 11.95 if I would have used priority as the method versus 760 for the priority mail. But I charge a flat rate for 8.95 for a flat rate envelope to the buyer. So if they were using a retail rate, it would be what 960, 965 or whatever. So they're getting a better deal than what they would get at the retail price. And I'm saving money on it. They're saving money. It's a win-win for everybody. Um, Usually I don't try to do anything above. Um, priority rate, which I mean like flat rate. Usually I reserve those for multiple quantity orders. Sometimes it's still cheaper to send it priority than it is flat rate. Just depends on where the buyer's at and how heavy the package is. Totally agree. Or is priority just the safe bet? They like I just said, if it's over a pound, it's going priority just because that's the way it is by shipping standards. I recommend if you sell clothes, the reseller ruler is amazing, worth the investment. It definitely does save time. It eliminates a whole step of measurements in the process. I don't do the flat lay, so I think the ruler would slide off of my board, so I'd still have to hold it in place. I'm probably going to buy one anyway because I'm thinking about going to an elevated flat lay versus the vertical flat lay just for speed's sake and eliminating the step of putting clothing on the hanger. But I'll also keep you guys updated on that in the videos. Meow Mitten says I'm currently listing 5 a day and I'm moving in about 8 weeks. I want to go up to 10. Should I wait until after the move or just go for it? Just go for it. Why not? There's no reason that your move should determine whether you do it or not. Especially because your listing goal is your listing goal no matter where you live at. So I personally would go for it. Just one suggestion on when you're moving. If you're gonna move your inventory and your shipping stuff last. And then when you do get to the new place, move it off first. So the day you move, like pack your stuff on at the last end, and then when you get to the new place, unload that stuff first. That way you can get back to business as usual. You don't miss a beat. I hate cleaning shoes too, so they need to be worth good money if I get shoes to flip. I agree. I had a pair of shoes for 6 months that still need cleaning. I literally just gave Nikki 3 IKEA bags full of shoes, and then this tote right here that's got my scale and stuff on it. Not the ones on the ground, but that one right there is full of shoes too that I'm probably just going to give away also. I literally don't want to clean shoes. Okay. When were you thinking of increasing listings daily? More time sourcing, the fun part. When were you thinking of increasing listings daily? I've never increased listings daily. Never did I do that daily because that's just really number one, you don't get enough time to get reps in before you're increasing another listing again. Number two, you'll run out of cash doing it like that. Number three, the more you grow, the faster you grow like that, the more you're going to implement bad practices. You can make mistakes that you don't even notice you're making because all you're trying to do is move so fast. So I recommend growing slowly and letting your store grow naturally. So me right now, I list 65 a day, but only 40 of those listings go live. So that's 25 items being added to my store every day. But those 25 items a day do get listed on Monday and Saturday. So I'm technically only growing 5 additional listings on top of my listing goal. So the 20 or the 40 that go live, only 30 of those sell. So every day I'm netting 10 listings in my store. So my store grows 10 or so listings a day. That's a pretty slow-ish growth rate. Could be a lot slower and I'd still grow because I'm not selling 40 a day. I'm selling 30 a day. So uh you want your store to grow naturally versus pumping it full of items. Say if I'm listing all 65 of those items right now, my store is going to grow at a rapid rate because I'm only selling 30 a day. It's going to take probably 8-9 months to catch up to that listing goal versus me gradually adding. Like right now I'm at 40 listings. Starting next month I'm going up to 45 listings, but I'm already doing the 65 listings. The end game is 50 listings a day by the end of the year. So I'm going to be doing 70 listings a day. So I'm kind of inching it up slower and slower and slower versus last year when I first started growing my store. I was up in it like 5 listings. I was doing it like 1 listing a month, and then I upped it like 5, and then I upped it like 10, and then I upped it like another 5 more on top of that, like real quick back to back. And I ran out of cash. I did not have good enough cash flow. I was constantly using my personal money to buy inventory because I just wasn't seeing the sales that I needed to grow my store. So I recommend growing slowly. Um, and sourcing, I only source 1 day a week, so it's fun. But I'd rather sit at the front of the computer and list more items than source. But I don't have anyone to bring me inventory, nor do I have anywhere to buy inventory from in enough bulk to where it's cheap enough for me than me going to do it myself. So if I could figure out a way to get inventory brought to me, I would totally eliminate sourcing, period. I would definitely be okay never sourcing again as long as I could only list items on eBay. It gave me an upgrade. So I do not have a camera, so you still want to know what I look like. I mean, as long as you can talk, do you have a way to put your voice on to where I can hear what you say, or are you just gonna talk through text? I mean, it's up to you. Uh Eventually, you'll probably want to level up a little bit to where I can hear you. Um What's considered a good active sold ratio? I think that's, based on you. For me, right now my actives, at least for my 90-day total, I'm at, hang on, let me pull up the app. I cannot wait. I got my new phone coming tomorrow, man. This phone is so slow. So I'm at 5,975 active and 2,226 sold. And that to me is good. I mean, I think I can't remember I don't know what my current sell through rate is. But I remember the last time I did it, I was at like 39 something like that percent sell through. Um, you just got to do the math and see if it works for you, at what sell through rate you're at. Uh, is good enough for you. If you're not making enough money and having enough cash flow, then it doesn't matter how many items you're selling. Um, but obviously, the bigger your store is, the slower or the lower your sell through rate is going to be, especially if you're growing faster than you need to be. Let's see. Do you do retail arbitrage as well? I know you have a system set up already, discounts over time. No, I don't do any retail arbitrage. I'm exclusively the bins. That's the only place I source at. Is there an advantage to doing a numbering system for items rather than by numbered bins and just replenish those bins as items sell? So for me, no, there's really no difference, honestly. But for me, Meow Mittens joined the channel member. Hey, welcome. Thank you for joining. You guys are awesome. So my reason for stopping bin life was every time I would get my orders, I would have to unstack bins, stack bins back. Um, Move this bin around, move that bin around, dig through this bin to try and find my item. Oh, it's not in this bin. Now I got to check all the bins. You know what I mean? Like, and it was a nightmare for me. So I just start listing items in sequential order, in bags with numbers on them. And then that way, if I did misplace an item or I didn't type the SKU in right, I could just go look in my emails, check the date that I listed them, find out what's around those items. So if it's between two Banana Republic shirts, I should be able to find this between the two Banana Republic shirts listed on February 13th. You know what I mean? It just made it a lot easier for me than having to go figure out which bin had space in it, which bins my item going to be in. Oh, it's going to be in the bottom. I've got 10 bins stacked on top of each other. Now I got to move 9 to get to one. Now I got to restack 9 to get to the. It's just a whole lot of. That's why I stopped doing bin life, but you can do your inventory system whichever way you want to. I prefer to just walk directly to a box where it's at, reach in, pull my item out less than 10 seconds, and I'm gone. Let's see here. So if I list 10 a day and I'm only selling 13 per week, what do I need to do? You need to pick better items, put your items on sale, accept more offers, send aggressive offers, more aggressive offers, work on your title structure. And me and you are gonna have some fun, Jared. I'm gonna get you together, for real, for real. I'm gonna get you all the way together. Also, is 15% too high for promoted listings and clothing? It's a little high. If you look, man, the suggested rate is inching its way up higher and higher, though. I've seen suggested ratings of 12% on things, man. You got that's cap. Like for real, I'm not doing it. I'm at 10% and I'm rocking 10% for a while because even 10% is on the high end because there's a lot of people just at two, which is the bare minimum. So 15's a little that's a little aggressive. If you got the margin for it though, by all means go ahead because you're gonna beat me out because I'm only doing 10. Uh Will's good says, yo, man, just wanted to say while you're live, you are a super positive and driven guy. Good things coming for you. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's the Holy Spirit in me, bro. When you've been saved by what I've been saved from and you overcome what I've overcome, bro, you'd be super positive too. Um you do have a mic? Okay. Well, that'll make it a little bit faster of a process then, because if I have to wait for you to type your responses, it would be kind of slow. But at least you got a mic. We'll be able to get you all the way together, man. So you list everything you source that one day a week. No, 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 no. Yeah. 300 to 400 items a week. No death pile. No death pile. I literally ran out of inventory last week because I list everything I do. So yesterday's bench trip, I got like 315 items. All of those will be listed by Sunday. I'll go back sourcing again on Monday. I never have an abundance of items because I list so much. Sometimes I don't get the whole amount. Sometimes I'll instead of getting 300 items, I'll get 275, 240, or sometimes I'll get 350, it just depends. Um, but I don't believe in having items sitting around that I'm not going to list. The most I would do is have a 2 week back stock just for hard times. You know what I mean? But that's why I build the draft bank up. I'd rather my items be in draft form than sitting in a pile somewhere in a corner. You know what I mean? So Tino says, I'm currently at 1,111 active, 1,180 sold, 90. That's incredible, bro. Great sell through right there. You must be selling gold bars. Jonathan says, what up, Marcus? Haven't made an international sell in a minute. Any idea what might have changed? Sometimes people just don't want to pay all that extra shipping on things. I don't know. For me, man, since I got enrolled into the new eBay International, my international sales have gone up actually versus GSP. So I don't know, maybe double check, make sure you're still enrolled, but I don't think it's something you'll fall out of. Just next time you list an item, check and make sure it says that you're enrolled in it, or you can just go to your account settings and just verify it there real quick. And if not, just re-enter it and then report back next week or comment on a video in the next couple days and see what happens. Or you could join the Discord. It's free, and that way I'll know like tomorrow. Let's see. My man's done. Yeah, I don't have no death pile, none whatsoever. Let's see here. I got 1730 listed, 298 sold, everything. That's kind of slow, bro. How many are you selling a day, Christopher? How many do you list a day and how many are you selling a day? I use 2% promoted listings on a lot of stuff, and that sells quite a lot for me. I've heard that it really just depends on what you want to try and see if that works for you. Yeah, pretty much 2% is going to get sales. I know when I was promoting at 1%, I was still selling promoted listing stuff all day long. So, um, like I said, you gotta realize, man, there's people out there that are greedy and they're not promoting at all. They want all their money. They don't care how long it takes to sell. They're not giving eBay nothing extra. So if you're at 2%, you're going to be selling more than those people. Um, Out of the vast majority of people, they're not promoting anything on eBay. A lot of people want all the money all the time. Miss Lachey says, I've never done the suggestion rate. It's getting ridiculous. It's a little high. It is. The only way I do suggested rate is if the sell through rate is super low. Yeah, I could see that. eBay suggested promoter rate is just the average of what everyone is doing. This is why it's changed from moment to moment. Yeah. And there's a lot of people doing Like I know James, my born reseller, can promote up to 20% on certain items. Now, most of those are media where they're like all paid for 20 years ago, but um, he fluctuates from 20 to 15 on those types of items. Sometimes he goes 15 on clothing. I think I can't say with 100% facts that that's what he does, but uh, I think he's at I don't know. Honestly don't know what he's at on his clothing, but I know for media he promotes up to 20% sometimes and hats too. So Casey, how you doing, my guy? Mojo Mama, how you doing, buddy? If it flips, it ships. Where do you get the boxes you store your inventory? I buy them on Amazon. There's several different sizes, and I've just ordered today. I ordered 32 by 8 by 8. I'm gonna try those out and see how I like those. But the ones I've been using are 30 by 10 by 10. And the reason why I'm gonna stop using the 30 by 10 by 10 is because I've stopped picking up as many big bulky items and started picking up a lot more shirts. And so those shirts end up smashing side to side inside of my box. Let me grab this box and show you. So you see how these items are all like edge to edge in the box? This is a 30 by 8 by 8 box. And if it was a 30 by 10 by 10 box, the items would start stacking on side of each other because I would be smashing them in there trying to gain as much space inside of a box as possible. So the items would start to align on the sides and get out of order, so to speak. And so I'm gonna take less space off the sides and add it to the length of it, so that way I'll still be able to fit a decent amount of items in there. But 32 by 8 by 8 is what I've just ordered. Those are 30 by 8 by 8, and I've got some 30 by 10 by 10s over here, but I've already showed you what I was talking about. I have 567 listed, 220. That's not bad, Jared. That's like close to a 50% sell through rate. You're doing better than you give yourself credit for. 945 listed and 293 sold. Average $58 average sell. Hey, that's pretty good. I want you to see my store listing 15 to 20 a day. How many are you selling a day? That sounds pretty good. Sounds like you're doing all right. Especially depending on the items you have. Cat says you don't have to have a death pile. I'm over here like an undertaker. Yeah. Uh Sometimes, man, I guess it could be good to have a death pile. You don't have to go source that much. Trust me, I've tried to have a death pile the whole time I've been selling. I've never had one. I list I list too much. Listed 2 to 8 a day, sell 2 or 3 a day, sometimes 6 a day. Okay, so if you list between 2 to 8 and you sell between 2 to 3, that's actually fairly good. Um, it could just be you have some items in your store that are not the greatest for your store to be as large as it is. Not saying that you have a big store, but your listed compared to your sold is a bit high. Uh, but you're selling half of what you well, almost half of what you sell a day sometimes. It just depends on if listing more. If you're listing more along the lines of 8 on an average daily, then 2 to 3 can be. I mean, unless you're selling, if you're listing more like 8 a day and you're selling more like 3 a day, then it's not so bad. But if you're listing 8 and selling 2, that's not horrible because there's a lot of people listing 8 or 10 even a day and not even selling one a day. So it just depends on the items you're selling. And if as long as at the end of the day, man, the only thing that matters is if you're selling enough items for your liking and if you have enough cash flow and everything's working fine for you, then that's really all that matters. eBay's, got metrics and numbers and things like that, and it matters in the grand scheme of things. But as long as you are personally happy with the results you're seeing, it doesn't matter. I was okay with the results I was seeing until I found a better way. If you don't know any better, and if you don't know of, oh, I can make this much more if I do this thing, then you just don't know. Like, you can't miss what you never had. Oscar says, what are your tactics when shipping at the bins, or you mean like shopping at the bins? What are your tactics when shipping at the bins, item by item? I'm not really sure, so I'm just going to answer the question both ways. My tactics when I'm shopping at the bins is go through the full bin. When those vintage guys come through and they grab a stack of clothes or they come start throwing stuff around like Tasmanian devil and they don't do anything, I go through the bin and I find uh, all the stuff that they miss, including the vintage items they were looking for. Uh, and then when I'm shipping the items, I have two different rates: one first class, one priority. Either it goes in a plastic poly mailer first class, or it goes in a flat rate envelope priority, and that's that. Jared says I only have 16 followers on my store. Followers matter in the smallest of ways. So followers are going to help you when you send out coupons to your buyers to have them either come back or to shop with you again. They can get a code, but you don't need a follower to sell or to use a coupon code with. You can just send them to your previous buyers, but you have to have a store subscription to use that in the marketing tab. But trust me, it makes no difference. I've got 1.1 thousand followers on eBay, and most of them are people that come stalk my store or sell similar off my listings or like compare to see what I'm selling, or they're just viewers of my channel looking to see what I got going on eBay. It does not help me make any sales. It actually hurts my metrics because I got people looking at listings and they're not buying them. So they're increasing my bounce rate, which means they're looking at items and not buying it. So eBay's like, something's wrong with this listing. Let's show it to fewer people. So if anything, like having a bunch of followers really might hurt your store. I send coupons out every day and I've only had one follower use a coupon. So followers are overrated, at least in my experience. Now, if they were like 100% genuine followers of like people that have actually like shopped with me before, then it would help. But I get more results off sending coupons to my previous buyers than I do off sending coupons to my followers. What up, Kristen? How you doing, my friend? I hope all is going well. I would feel better if the suggested promoted rate was actually based on something meaningful. Yeah, eBay is not, they don't do really much based off anything meaningful. They just increase the bottom line more. More money for them without making the platform any better. What up, Pink Flowers Boutique? Hi, Marcus. Always a pleasure listening to your advice. It's always a pleasure to give it. Have you thought about maybe getting into a different selling category besides just clothing and occasional shoes and hats? No, I was in everything before and I've niched down to the category I'm in for a purpose. I could find clothing in abundance, like more than I could find anything else. And my store is set up, my listing station is set up to list clothing. My storage setup is set up to store only clothing. So like I've eliminated everything into just the clothing category. I have no interest selling anything else but clothing. I found that if you have a store, Terapeak is a great tool. Yeah, it can be, especially if you find something that's a little bit more rare that you don't see any current active listings for. You can look back through the whole year. It's kind of sort of like WorthPoint, but not as great. Okay, sorry, I meant shopping. Yeah, so yeah, that's my strategy. Look through every single bin all the way through the bottom. Look at every item in there. I mean, it takes a lot of work. It can be exhausting, but you find a lot of good items that people just there's a lot of skimmers at the bins. Like they just skim the top or they like pick one item up and then they move on to the next bin. And I just don't get that philosophy. If you're trying to maximize your results at the bins, why not look through every piece of clothing? It just makes no sense. Or they're like looking for like, I don't know, like they look for like graphics that would appear to be like a vintage tee or like some type of rap tee or like, some type of vintage tee that they're looking for instead of like looking at a shirt that could be, the front is facing down. They're missing this total, vintage tee here because they're looking for something instead of looking at something. You know what I mean? You got to dig. Sometimes some items I know will sit because they're items waiting for certain collectors. Like for example, I have World War II cooler who will take. Yeah, that's the thing about collectibles and like niching down too far. Like you're gonna wait for a long time for certain things. Like Chris Daily Refinement makes the comparison of selling links for Rolex watches. You know, you don't like if you got a list for 500 bucks, decreasing the price to 250 is not going to make it sell faster because that item is waiting for a particular buyer to lose a Rolex link, which is a rare happening. You know, I've never lost a watch link. So when am I going to need to buy another watch link? And a guy like me is not buying a Rolex. So if I lose a watch link, I'm gonna just go buy another watch. You know what I'm saying? Or buy like a watch band. But so um it's the first link, Jared, and it's not $35, it's $30. It's the first link in the description. Well, actually, it's probably not in this description because I don't even think I monetized this live. So you're not going to see anything in this description. There is none. Go to another video. Uh, I'll have to monetize this one afterwards. Uh, let's see here. Let's see here. So yeah, when it comes down to collectibles, unless it's like something that's really, really popular, you're probably going to sit on it. My bins is straight chaos. They push you around, steal out of your cart, sift and throw clothes all over you. It's frustrating. It's like that at my bins too. Um, you guys see like the back end of it. Like now when I film most of my videos, I wait till it dies down to start filming. Uh, but before, when I first started going to the bins, I would record in the middle of all the chaos, and it was a little bit rough. Um, but you know, especially when people see you all the time, they kind of like you earn respect anywhere you go. It's just how it is in life. And when I go to different states and I hit the bins there, it's totally different. It's a culture shock, you know. Like I gotta adapt to that bins location that I'm at and see how it goes. But there's little furious, feisty ladies, man. They want to step all on your feet, push you out of the way, reach right in front of you. Like sometimes you just gotta be thick skinned. Going to prison kind of helped me out in that aspect because I'm like, you know what? If I can survive in prison, I can survive at the bins. Let's see. Lisa says, "Hi, Vicky." Who's Vicky? Is Vicky Pink Flowers Boutique? Is it boutique or is it boutique? How do you pronounce it? I'll have to Google pronounce the thingamajiggy. I have a basic store. Okay, so you should still get the marketing tab with a basic store. I absolutely love throwbacks at the bins. Yeah, me too. Everybody does, honestly. Uh, Even if you're not looking for that. Would be cool to see you at the KC band sometimes. Yeah, I'm down for that. My sister lives in Kansas City too, so I mean it would probably be like two birds with one stone. Marcus waits till all the kids at the bins are screaming to film. No, you don't understand. Them kids are at the bins every week that I go. I only go on Monday, but I think they're there every day. And there's two of them. They're together and they sit there and cry back and forth at each other. With one starts crying, the other one starts crying. And then the parents neglect them. So like the whole time these kids are sitting there crying, the parents are sitting there going through the bins, and everyone around them is like, why don't they do something to stop that kid from crying? And like it just is what it is. The other day, the kid had a Uzi in his hand, standing there just screaming at the top of his lungs, just to be screaming. And I'm like, man, that kid needs a spanking, like really bad. Let's see. Candy said you have to have thick skin while throwing bows. Definitely. What up, Ben? How you doing, man? VA, what does that mean? Virginia? The bends in Virginia? Are they rough? The roughest bends I think I've been to, and it wasn't even rough. It was kind of rambunctious. Was Houston, when I went to see Flip the World. But the ones in Nashville on Cockrell Road, they're kind of tough too. Them little Hispanic ladies in there, they don't play. Uh, I'm sure you've answered this before, but do you use promoted listings on all of your listings or just some? Yeah, I use it on all of them. I'm no respecter of items, man. I promote everything at the same. I don't pick and choose. So if I got three $100 items, I am not grabbing those three $100 items and listing them first. I'm stacking up 65 items on this tote over here. Whatever 65 items I pull out of my IKEA bags first are what's getting listed. I could list all $300 items on the last day of the sourcing, route. It just doesn't matter to me because if I pick and choose, I'm gonna save all the $5 items for last, and then I'm gonna have a day where I put $350 of $5 of items into my store, and then it's gonna mess up my metrics. I'd rather just list it all as I come and just have consistent $600 sales days. You know what I mean? There is the link to the Patreon, Keenan, if you're trying to sign up. Thank you, Miss Lachey. Appreciate it. Nifty Nook Thrift. What up, Sarah? How you doing? Hey, Marcus just got on. How's it going? Just got done at the gym. Let's go. The kids at my bins are absolutely crazy too. The parents don't do anything about it. I think it's just a matter of priorities, I want to say. They feel like, their kids in a cart, they can't get hurt, so let them scream. And it just is what it is. I appreciate you, Miss Lachey. The bins in New Jersey are wild guys sprinting around at top speed like the Olympics. Now, I mean, I'm not going to say much about that because when the bins first open, I'm one of those guys that runs to the bins um, because there's a lot of competition also running to the bins, and I just got to get it. You know what I mean? Like 300 items don't just jump into your cart. So I got to do a little bit of something to get those 300 items. Um, it just is what it is. It was worse when I was trying to sell shoes. Them dudes, that they ain't playing. They are not playing. They got like a squad. It's like 6 or 7 people, and anything with a rubber band on it's going into a cart, even if it's junk. So like your options are immediately gone if you're not rushing. What up, Jimmy? How you doing? Um, I'm from Chicago, and we're just cut from a different cloth. We do not have one here, so I go to the one in Indiana. I'll probably see you at the one in Indiana. I know you guys are cut from a different cloth. I'm originally from St. Louis, and y'all make St. Louis dudes look like kindergartners, man. So Chirac. I love the bins when they stack the cards 8 feet high and then sort through their 5 carts before they leave them, and nobody else is able to go through the items they throw back. Why can't they go through the items they throw back? I find some of my bangers in the throwback pile, man. That rap tee I found, that was in somebody's throwback pile. So explain the difference between your subscription levels, please. So the first level is simply just a badge by your name. That just means you're just trying to support the channel. You just want to, show some love and just be a member. The second tier is you get the badge name, you get the thing by your name that you have next to your name right now, and every other Saturday. So every 2 weeks, I have exclusive live stream. So it's like just members only. And I go through your store. I help you, maximize your listing quality, give you a store review, answer whatever questions you have. We can be face to face. You don't have to type your text in. We can talk to each other verbally. And then the third level is a Patreon. It's like every day. It's not every day. It's 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday, because I source on Monday and I can't. I could probably stream from the car, but I don't think the quality would be worthy. And then I have to be shouting through my radio. It just wouldn't be a good experience for anyone. So Tuesday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central or 9 a.m. Central. I mean, we go live for an hour and it's in a Zoom room. So we can share screens. I can talk to you about what your goals are, what you're currently working on, help you set up a schedule, help you get a draft bank set up. Whatever you need hand holding at. And I mean, I don't want to use the word hand holding, but it's an accountability group. This group is to help you actually do what you say you're going to do. So I hold your hand until you don't need hand holding anymore, and help you get your store on the page that you want it to be on. And that also has a private Discord where you can text me directly at any time of the day. There's an accountability sheet in there where you post the items that you listed that day. There's a member video replays in there as well. There's a channel for that. And then there's just a channel to shoot the breeze at, you know what I mean? And that's the $30 tier. And it's only on Patreon. It's not through YouTube. Because YouTube had a bunch of specificities that I wasn't rocking with, and things that software they wanted me to use, and guidelines I had to follow, which I mean, there's nothing inappropriate, but it's just I didn't feel like paying for this program to use it through you. I had to buy, subscriptions to other programs, and It was just not. I'm not paying more money to do all that stuff. That's how my mom and auntie does at the yard sales at the car before I make a complete stop. Out the car, yeah, they breaking and running, tuck and roll. Did you sell the wrap tee? No, not yet. I'm probably gonna put it on sale next month. 20% off. And so it'll go down to like 800 bucks, and then I'll continue sending 25% offers on it until it sells. First level is yep, $3.99. Do you think ending and then selling similar does anything? Boy, oh boy, you should have been here in the beginning. No, I don't think it does anything. If all you do is end the listing and then immediately sell similar, 80% decrease in traffic on the sales. And this is not me talking out the side of my neck. A member of the Reseller Nirvana mentorship ran sales with only selling similar. Their sales dropped 80% for the whole time that they were doing only selling similar. Now, if you end the listing, edit the listing to make it better, improve the listing quality, make your title better, make sure you have correct item specifics in there, maybe change the price a little bit. This is going to increase your sales rate. But if all you do is end the listing and sell similar and nothing else, it's going to be an 80% less chance of selling. Um, I just don't recommend that being the method you guys use. And I've been guilty of it in the past. I'll end 100 listings and sell one of them, and I'm like, oh, this works. But if I have to end 100 listings to sell one, why can't I just edit all 100 of them, make them better, and sell 20? You know what I mean? Second level. Yep. Yep. Miss Lachey's coming through in the clutch. Marcus, do you have a way to reach you? Email? No. If you don't reach me on Instagram, that's pretty much it. The Patreon would be the best way for you to reach me because I would make time to get to everyone. But a lot of people reach out to me and I don't see it because I don't follow people back on Instagram. So your mail goes to the spam or the like message request page, and it might sit there unanswered for a week because I'm not a very social person. I have social media, but like I'm really not like checking that stuff like I probably should be. But you can join the Discord for free. There's a Good Pickings Discord that me and Good Game Grabs runs. You're more liable to get a hold of me on there if you message me directly because I'll get a notification on my computer screen that I'll see there. But um, other than that, I'm not very reachable. I mean, you can, like I said, you can message me on Instagram, but I might not see it if we don't follow each other. Third level. Hey, Leroy came through with the $2. What's going on, man? How are you, bro? Hope you're doing well, man. Okay, I think I will stick with the middle tier for right now. Are you still a member of the Reseller Nirvana group? I sure am. I'll probably never leave that group. I was just on the call with Tech before I went live at 7. Hey, Levon. Levon's a member of the Picking Genius tier. What's up from Colorado? Coming in late tonight? No problem. Remember, we go live this Saturday at 12 p.m. Levon. Looking forward to your progress report. Would you ever do whatnot? So, if you guys watch my most recent video that came out yesterday, you'll see that whatnot hit me up on Instagram while I was packing my orders, and they were trying to get me to sell in the storage auction / estate sales category. Obviously, they don't know me because I don't do either one of those things. Um, I applied for whatnot when they first started popping off, and they denied me. And so I told them that, and they're like, "Oh, we'll get you approved right away." And I don't have time to devote to taking on whatnot now. You know what I mean? Like it's just not something that I'm probably going to do. I'm not familiar with Patreon. What's your Instagram handle? What's your Discord thing? Um, Patreon doesn't need familiarity. It would be like any other platform. You just sign up and then you have access to the Discord. But the Discord that's free is called Good Pickings. Let me see if I can get the link for you. Or someone can drop the link in the chat. And then Instagram is Dixon's Pickings, just like the YouTube channel. Let's see. You doing store reviews today? Yeah, I can. Nobody's asked me to do one yet. You want one? Drop your link in the or your store name in the it's boutique. Okay. Thanks, Lori. Nice to meet you. I'm Marcus. I thought it was boutique. I mean, that's the way I was saying it, but or was I saying boutique? I hear people say boutique and I hear people say boutique, but it's just like coupon or coupon. It's pronounced coupon, but people say coupon. I'm already on Discord with my job, which is why I asked Project 230. So the Discord is called, let me go ahead and share it real quick. I got to pull it up on my phone. I should have all these things on like a Google document. Gosh, this phone is trash. Keenan just joined the Patreon. Thank you, Keenan. Appreciate it, man. B, I'll actually, Keenan, I'll send you the link to the Discord in a moment, and I'll get with you after we get off this live to give you instructions to join the call in the morning. One more second, and I'll have the Discord link for you. So sorry, I don't have this on quick standby. Discord. Okay, here we go. Come on, man. Oh my gosh, this phone is so slow. Okay, Miss Lachey did it. You saved the day. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to Jason's store. Oh man, Hillary's not here anymore. She was supposed to show me how to do this screen share. All right, you guys are just stuck with me, man. We're gonna finesse this together. Project underscore 230. Hey, I got a new offer. Okay. Does your store have like a street sign? Like Wall Street or something? Let me share this. How do you decide to bump up your listing goal? Whenever I financially can afford it. Okay, Hillary, we're gonna finesse this together, buddy. Share screen. Entire screen. Share. Now what? Is it working? You got to tell me if it's working or not, because I can't tell. Let me just open back up YouTube. You would think I know what I'm doing by now, guys, but I don't. Okay, hey, we are in there. All right, so let's go over Jason's store. Maryland Terrapins lacrosse Nike polo shirt. Okay, so you definitely need work on your titles. I would do Maryland Terrapins shirt, right? Nike polo. Or I will put Maryland Terrapins shirt, men's. I wouldn't even use the word size. Take that totally out of there. Men's extra large, red, because you don't even have the color of the shirt in here. Red Nike polo. Then whatever other keywords you decide to use. What category do you have this in? You got it in the right category. Do you know how to change your eBay store URL? I can Google that for you. I don't remember how to do it because I did it so long ago. Your photos are okay. What's this? Kitchen floor or something that you got the photos on? bathroom floor. I like the little arrow pointing to the flaws. That's pretty cool. So 1288. It's a pretty fair price. 822 is astronomically high though. What in the world you got going on here, bud? Economy shipping? That don't sound very economical. Westchester, Pennsylvania. That's 1000% a first class item. Uh I'd say maximum 655. Yes, kitchen floor. Okay. So 30-day free or 30-day seller, nice free returns. I like it. Good job, buddy. Let's check out these item specifics. Use good condition. I would put what's wrong right here instead of down here. I mean, you can leave it down here, but the used good condition part is going to pop up right here. You see, so when I look at this listing, boom, instantly I see use good condition. So I would want to know what flaws are going to be right there. As soon as I'm looking at this listing, I can see that there's a flaw here. So there's no, I'm the lazy buyer that doesn't look, and then I don't even bother to read the description or look at the photos. I just click buy it now. You know what I mean? So then they're going to be like, oh, well, I didn't look at the photos. Or they're going to be like the type of buyer that says, what's the pit to pit measurement? Instead of looking at the pit to pit measurement. So you probably want to put whatever your flaws are in the actual condition description because that's what it's for. It's for what the condition is. Officially licensed. I would say that that is officially licensed because it's Nike, and usually Nike has most NCAA teams official licensing, unless it's like one that happens to use Reebok for some weird reason or Adidas. Shirt man, lacrosse, regular season red. Okay, so yeah, pretty good. Red with left chest embroidery. Refer to photos for defects and measurements. That'll do. That's pretty good. But I would, like I said, I would add that condition description to the what's wrong with it in the condition description. Let's look at another item. I would probably do a little bit. Okay, no, you do have a back photo. Use fair condition. What's wrong with it to make it fair? I would probably point that out in the photos. Because if this is the shirt, I can't tell what's wrong with it in these photos for it to be in fair condition. And then the title, I would probably put, because this looks like a beer shirt, I will put Yangling premium beer shirt, men's size medium white. Probably something like beer, fun, party, or like logo, like some of those keywords. And 788, I guess that's a fair price because I've never heard of this before. Let's see, 787. Yeah, I would definitely charge a first class rate for this because there's no way you'd probably sell more items if you had a more fair shipping price. Because I'm in the middle of the United States, I can only imagine what somebody in California is seeing as a shipping rate for this item. So I would definitely consider. I'm not telling you to do it, but I would change that shipping price to a flat rate. And by doing a flat rate, what you want to do is find where most of your items sell. So if you sell a lot of stuff in California, you want to find out what the highest price is for something to go to California and then charge that as a flat rate. And for the most part, you'll like me, I charge 650. So there's some items where I pay a few cents in, but most of the time my items are all covered no matter where they go in the United States because I'm charging 650. My 650 looks better than your 787 on this item. So I'm probably going to make the sell over you, if that makes sense. And I would definitely be adding the color of whatever item it is in your title. No tags. So that's fine if there's no tags. That's what the flaw is though. I would put that in the description. Let me see. Maybe you have it down here. No tags, measurements consistent with men's size medium, front chest graphic print. Okay, so that does not make it fair, bro. That's still a good condition. Um, it's just no tag. You know how many shirts out there with no tag though? I would still say this shirt looks pretty crispy, honestly, man. It's just slightly wrinkled, but no tag does not consist with it being a fair condition. Fair condition means like there's probably a hole in it or like some stain that won't come out, or you know what I mean? I mean, I guess like you would be like underselling this and then over delivering. So like the buyer would get this and leave really good feedback, like really good condition, arrived in better condition than I expected, or something like that. So I guess that's all good. Fabric type would be jersey because that's the type of material t-shirts are. Um, and unknown and unbranded, I would just not put anything there. I guess in the brand, I would probably slap like a Gildan name in there or something because let's face it, Gildan is the number one blank provider out there, thanks to Kanye. Uh, I think they're worth something ridiculous, like $500 million or like even 500 billion maybe. Because Kanye uses their blanks for his clothing line. They're like considerably the number one blank provider out there. It's a safe bet to go with them. Um, Short sleeve, white, vintage, no, regular t-shirt, handmade, no. All right, so your item specifics are good. If you don't know, I would just not fill it out though. It's better to fill out something. It's better to not fill something out at all than to fill out incorrectly. And when it comes down to, I mean, at the end of the day, man, nobody cares where it's made at unless it's made in the USA. So if it's vintage, you want to put where it's made at. But if it's not made in the USA, it doesn't even really matter where it's made because that's why people care. And so you really need work on your title structure. I would maybe add a couple more pictures in here. You don't need them. It's not necessary to sell your item. But let's look at one more. Distressed should not be your first word. I would probably call this I would call this what this is. This is like a local union workers type shirt or something. I would just put whatever IBEW. That's what I would put it in. And me personally, that's what I would do. What the heck's going on here? But I would put distress towards the end. You don't want to lead with a keyword. You want to lead with, unless it's like, an unbranded like item, then I wouldn't lead with distressed, but I would probably put local 357 Union maybe. Bayside. Bayside would go after men's 2XL gray graphic print tee. What in the heck's going on, man? Why is my 1088? I don't know why my computer's moving off slow like this. It's like straight glitched out on me. I just sold an item. Nice. See, this is 822 as well. That just seems very high for a shirt. Less chest graphic print. I think that's a little bit overkill. Like you don't need to explain where the graphic is. You know what I mean? I think you could list faster and more items if you were not putting left chest pocket, left chest graphic. Just only describe what's wrong with an item. In my opinion, you could list a lot more items in less time if you were not doing that. Used worn condition, that probably could be verbalized in a different way because all clothes are worn. Maybe, I don't know. Distressed is a good enough keyword in my opinion. In my experience so far, distressed collar, like if it had a hole in it, or stains, I would just put distressed with holes and stains on collar and hem. Like it doesn't have to be overcomplicated because I mean, if someone's looking at the photos, then they should be able to see. But I would definitely work on your keywords, your title structure. Um, this shipping price is probably running a lot of people off though. But everything else looks pretty good, man. I don't know if you want to make a couple of tweaks to like 2 or 3 listings a day and then report back on the next live and see how it goes. Um, hopefully some of this information was helpful to you. Let's see. Let's get caught up on this. What's up, Dennis? How you doing, bro? Do we just choose our own flat rate? I never understood this. So, in theory, when it comes to a flat rate, you want to pick a cost that's not too high, that's not going to be overcharging everyone and not ridiculous, that is going to cover your shipping costs for the most part. You want it to be fair. Um, like sometimes even at 650, I pay 5-10 cents on a label, because it's going to California or something like that. But that's fine because for the most part, most of my items are at like $5.55 for shipping. So I'm only like overcharging $1 um on shipping. Now there's sometimes where I'm paying $4 for a label. But those are few and far in between, especially with the increase in pricing. Flat rate on priority, I charge the flat rate for whatever the flat rate envelope is. Actually, I'm undercharging. So the flat rate envelope costs $9.60. I'm charging $8.95 for a flat rate envelope. So everyone's getting a really good deal on flat rate because even if it doesn't fit in a priority envelope, I've still already charged you $8.95, and I lose money on that shipping price. But on the items where I pay $5 on a shipping that's first class versus the 650 that I charged, that covers the difference on items where I even have to pay $15 on an item that I charged $8.95 on priority. So you got to find what works for you. I'm not recommending you do what I do, but that's why I do what I do. Yeah, I don't do anything calculated except for like shoe listings. I prefer flat rate just because it gives the buyer a really good deal and people like paying less money on shipping. Set a flat rate, but don't undercut yourself because then you have to pay the difference come time to ship. I don't mind paying the difference because I still make like $800 to $1,000 on shipping each month. And, if I'm making money on it, I can afford to pass the savings on a little bit. I like the work shirt. Yep, see? Work shirt can be good. Chore. Um, let's see what else is another good keyword. When it's distressed like that. Um, Work shirt, chore, barn. Um, Thrashed is a good word. People like that for some reason. Grunge is another good word. So your Patreon is pretty much you being a hired eBay coach, kind of like personal trainer. That's exactly what it is. But it makes me more accessible too. Like, uh, I get messages and stuff all day long that I can't respond to, or I get people that just are ignorant and say stupid stuff. So I kind of tend to ignore a lot of that stuff. If you don't ask me the question directly, like on a YouTube comment or like comment on a post, I'm not checking my messages on Instagram. I'm just not, you know what I mean? Like, look, I could probably go to Instagram right now and I have like messages that I haven't checked. Let's see. Come on, man. This phone. Yeah, I got 6 messages right now. I'll probably never check them. All right, yeah. Try that and report back. Let me know how it goes. But if you join like the Discord, the Good Pickings Discord, I'm more liable to check there. But there's a lot of activity in there that I don't get to see everything in there either, unless you like actually tag me or send me a direct message. Um, but the Patreon that I'm running isn't for like you to connect with me and like let's be buds. It's for me to help you grow your business. If you want to reach me socially, I would use the Good Pickings Discord because that's where we all just kick it at. That's like a social thing. But if you're coming in to like learn something from me, um, you're gonna want to get a hold of me directly one way or another. The Patreon's gonna be better than Instagram or the Discord. I mean, it's gonna be better than Instagram. Yep, Hillary says that's right. That's exactly what it is. I'll report back next live and let you know how it goes. I look forward to it, man. I really hope it helps. Flat rate padded is how much? I don't know. I don't use flat rate padded. Probably like $10 or something like that. The store review you did, was they using eBay shipping prices or USPS shipping prices with calculated shipping? It had economy shipping, so I would assume it was calculated on economy shipping settings. Jared says I charge $9.95 for priority. Is that a flat rate? And then $5.95 for first class. That's a very fair first class price. I was doing $5.95, but for the most of my first class packages, they're sitting around like $6.55 by the time I pay for the label. So I was losing a lot more money on those. So I just upped it to $6.50. It was a USPS prices. Well, yep, we calculated shipping. After your item sells, do you end the listing as item no longer available? Is there a way to so if your item is sold, it should not need ending. If you're having to end an item after it sells, you got something going on. Um, I don't really understand why that would be an option for you, because if it sells, it should just not be available anymore. Um, is there a way to automate that step? You should not need to automate it. I wish I had an example of what you meant. Because if an item sells, then it's done. The item is sold. It's no longer for sale on eBay unless you have a multiple quantity in that. Which I mean, like, say you have 5 of the same item, and inside the listing you have the quantity set at 5. Other than that, it should automatically not be available anymore unless you accidentally. Um, your question was skipped over. Let me get to it. Unless you accidentally sold similar on that listing, it should not be available anymore. I don't see your question. Just type it again. 240JZ. Type your question again because I don't see it in there. And I didn't mean to skip over you. I apologize. Let's see. Let me get back. It's 8:30 for me with eBay. Okay, and that's for the padded flat rate. With retail, it's 1040. Sheesh, that's high. Good night, Marcus. Hey, good night. Keep it up, Marcus. Have a great week. Have a great week ending, everyone. All right, you too. Wild Game says, I'm trying to understand how much promoted listing costs. Is it a few dollars? It depends on the percentage of the item you sell it at. So if you have an item at $10 and you have a promoted listing percent of 10 or 10%, it's going to cost you $1 to use promoted listings on that item. If you're using calculated shipping, there's a feature you can turn on and they will charge the buyer what you pay through eBay. Yeah, that is true. Have a good night, Marks, and everyone. Have a good night, Norma. 240 Jay-Z. Type your question in real quick because I'm getting ready to hop off here. I'm already 47 minutes past what I normally would be on here at. So I didn't mean to skip over your question, but you're gonna have to type it in pretty soon so I can get out of here. Thank you. That helps a lot. No problem. Glad to help. I meant have a good night. I know what you meant, Norma. No problem. If anyone else has any other questions, some reason you can't see it. Well, I can see this comment. Just type it in right now. Found a thrift store that has 25%, 25-cent day and 50-cent day. I'm only finding sports stuff in Ralph Lauren and Grand Slam and golf polos. Should I just keep going, profiting like $7 to $9 on a shirt? If you're okay with that profit margin, by all means, go for it. Ralph Lauren sells. Golf polos, they sell. It'll definitely pick up more that it's starting to warm up again, and more people will be buying them. But at 25 cents, man, you can't go wrong selling an item for $7 to $9. Okay, so hey, Marcus, can you check out my eBay and let me know how I'm doing? Just need to know if I'm on the right track or not. I have more listing coming. Old account, new reseller. So I've already done the one listing that I do. I do one free store review on a live stream. If you want a free listing, you're going to have to wait till next week. and go live with me again on Tuesday, but you're going to need to be here at 7 when I go live. I'm not going to be able to get to it tonight because I'm already 49 minutes past what I'm usually on here at. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to let you down, and I don't mean to be like uh, a jerk or something. You know what I mean? But maybe next week we can get to it. I really, really apologize that I wasn't able to get to it. Thanks for the explanation, Marcus. Appreciate it. I missed it. I have to go rewatch. Have a good night. No problem. Melissa, we go live this Saturday at 12 for the private membership. Maybe you'll be able to be live this time instead of be on camera, but if not, no pressure. Just be in the chat if you want to. If not, you can also catch that on the replay. Should I keep going there or go to the bins? I find about 100 items a day. Hey, that sounds great to me. I mean, if you're getting good enough quality there, then go ahead and keep going there. Let's see. Glad to catch a live. Thanks for all the info. No problem. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Valuable info. You're spitting. Thanks, man. I tried to. Okay, good. No, at least you understand. All right. Have a good night. 25. Yeah, that's a dream store for sure. All right, cool. Good deal. I'll see you and all the channel members. I'll see you guys this Saturday at 12 p.m. Central Time. Jared says, I will not be on this Saturday. We'll be out of town in KC. Okay, so you can watch the replay. I'll post it on the channel, but only members will be able to watch. And since you're a member, you'll be able to watch it. But we got plenty of more Saturdays ahead of us. So just be there when you can. Great question tonight, everyone. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. Yes, really good chat tonight. I really appreciate everyone coming out and hanging out. This is the longest I've ever gone live. If I continue to get like over hundreds of people in here, then I'll probably extend it to a 2-hour live and do one live an hour or do one store review an hour. That way I'll make it more fair to people that come in late that want a store review, because my goal here is to help as many people as possible. So like I love kicking it and talking to you guys, but if I'm not providing value, then it's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? Yeah, we can all be friends, but if I'm not providing value, then it's a waste of all of our time. So if it continues to be like over 100 people consistently, I'll extend it to 2 hours and we'll do one store review each hour, and maybe that'll be able to help more people. It's just something to consider, but that's going to do it for this one. Really enjoyed hanging out with you guys tonight. Glad I was able to help you guys. And thanks to the new channel members. Really look forward to helping you guys grow your business. If you're catching this on the replay, consider subscribing to the channel if you're new here. If not, ask your questions in the comment section or join the Good Pickings podcast. It's free. You can ask me questions there. If you want coaching or one-on-one, dealings with me, join the Patreon. That's daily coaching. And if not, you can just get bi-weekly coaching by becoming a second tier channel member, the Good Pickings or Pickings Genius tier. And that will give you every other week we do store review and private members only live stream. So that's going to do it for this one. Catch you guys on the next one. But until then,